Well, if you think that Israel is taking on Hezbollah just for itself, my next guest says think again. Pat Robertson says they're taking on these terrorists for America, too. That is why he is in Israel, showing his support for the people through prayer and aid and actually doing his show out of there. He's the founder and the chairman of the Christian Broadcasting Network and host of the 700 Club, and he joins me from Jerusalem. Reverend, good to have you.
Hey, Neil, thanks. It's great to be with you.
All right. You probably heard, Reverend, that Israel has sort of upped the ante, significant ground forces moving into southern Lebanon as we speak. What do you make of that?
Well, I met with the Prime Minister Ehud Olmert right after that session of the cabinet which made that announcement. I spent a good deal of time with the Prime Minister, and all I sensed was terrific resolve. They're going to do the job. They're going to do what it takes. And yes, they upped the ante, but they have no choice. There's over 3,000 of these Katyushas have fallen on Israel so far, and there's no place in the north anymore that's safe. They have 1 million evacuees. They evacuated large numbers from Kiryat Shmona last night, and the Katyusha rocket attacks are very intense.
I'm wondering if Israel is prepared, Reverend, for the hell to come. Even conservative estimates are an all-out ground defense is going to cost a lot of lives, potentially hundreds of soldiers' lives, many more on the other side. What do you think?
Neil, I'll tell you something that happened tonight that I thought was very interesting. One of my men was down in the shop in the hotel where we were staying, and we learned of a building in southern Lebanon that had been collapsed. A number of soldiers had died. Some their ammunition exploded. The woman who was the shopkeeper, she said, "I will go and serve in their place." It is that kind of feeling in Israel. There's a unity here I haven't sensed in a number of years, and I think the people are prepared for sacrifice. They know this is the job that's got to be won, and if they have to have casualties, they're ready for them.
You made some headlines, Reverend, a while back when you indicated that former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon's illness might have been divine retribution for his withdrawal from the Gaza. I think you later claimed that the press misrepresented what you said. But maybe now, given what's happening, you can comment on that.
Well, I will be glad to comment. I was misrepresented. The transcript of what I said is very clear. Ariel Sharon was a good friend of mine. I'd been with him on a number of occasions. I prayed with him in his office, and I in no wise was condemning him. I was merely pointing to the prophet Joel, who said, "This is God's land." And I tell you, yesterday I drove down from Metula, where I did my show, and then I did the Fox a little bit out of Kiryat Shmona, drove down to Tel Aviv, and as I drove along, I thought, what would it be like if this territory had been given to Hamas? If what is called Judea and Samaria was given to Hamas, there wouldn't be one place in Israel where anybody would be safe from rocket attacks. And I believe the people realize that now. Just like the trouble that started in Gaza, it was a bit of a mistake, it seems like to me, turning that over.
Let me ask you, Reverend, as a very deep, loyal, and widely respected Christian, do you see this in terms of good versus evil?
I do think, without question, it's a spiritual battle. Islam is a religion, and at least one branch of it thinks that the goal of Islam is world domination. And therefore, their religion, that's what Islam means, is submission to their religion. On the other hand, we have the Judeo-Christian tradition and the tradition of freedom that has characterized Western civilization for so many centuries. I believe this is a clash between the two, and I think my friend Bibi Netanyahu, who preceded me on this broadcast, had it right. This is a struggle for Western civilization.
Okay, Reverend, thank you. Good luck doing your show out of there. Just be safe, all right?
I'll do my best.
All right,
Thanks,
Reverend Pat Robertson in Israel. Meanwhile, BP under fire.